Rastafari blessings. This is Rastas, Dr. Jazanai Kush. I am the owner, the proprietor of Lalabella Institute, and I'm very glad to be a part of the Lion's Voice. The time has come for the lionesses to tell our own stories, and this is the Lion's Voice.
Brother Linton doing powerful work there on I Never Knew TVs, dropping the clips, and we're getting a lot of positive feed forward, but in the comments there you see the little negativity. People are critique you, call you all kind of name and them kind of thing there. This is part of the tradition. This is part of the trad, and that's what we want to talk about today is again setting goals, but also vulnerability, the ability as a man to overcome that feeling of vulnerability, to put yourself out there for public scrutiny, because to lead means that you have to be willing to accept scrutiny. You have to be willing to be accountable. You have to be willing to be in the public sphere to lead. If you're going to be one side in a corner, that's a different lifestyle. But Rastafari, we don't have that option. Ras means head.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, for the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice. Well, millions of Africans were stolen and taken in bondage and suffered terrible acts of terrorism. Well, millions of Africans were stolen and taken in bondage and suffered terrible acts of terrorism. Well, it's best that we leave out west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. So it's best that we leave out west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. So them slave for paychecks. Work every day, grow old from the stress. The days they're getting cold in the west. Remember we were bought and sold for gold out in the west. I check in my history and I see the sweat from our back.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm an entertainment attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I'm the host of the Lion's Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome to episode 113 of the Lion's Voice. We have so much happening in the network, in the ecosystem. I want to first start off by saying give thanks. Today's episode, we're going to return to the Rastafari man standard. That's the content that the people them seem to gravitate to. So we're going to continue to give content in that vein here on the Lion Voice platform. Today's episode, we're going to talk about setting goals, and we're going to talk about vulnerability. These are the aspects of manhood, and in particular the Rastafari man standard that we want to talk about today. And in vulnerability, we're talking about opening yourself to criticism, because anytime you set a goal, anytime you step out there and you're doing anything in the public eye, you have to have a degree of vulnerability. And I do believe this is one of the things that is holding enough of our brethren from their greatness and from achieving their divine destiny. Worried about external criticism, worrying about what others are going to say, or tired of what others are saying, and not therefore just stepping into your destiny. This is so crucial, because if we look at every great man in history, we see that they face opposition. Look at His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, which we use on this channel as the apex exemplar. He was opposed by the Orthodox Church on some of his reforms. He was opposed by the nobles, of which he was part of that class, on some of his reforms. He was opposed by the students on some of his reforms. He was opposed by his own tribe or his own base of support on some of his reforms. So regardless of what you think, there's going to be opposition once you're making movements, once you're moving the needle on creation, once you're stepping in your purpose. We don't talk about these things enough, and so it's very crucial. We give thanks today. We're going to look at a speech of His Majesty that he gave to the Naval College, where he talks about setting goals and achieving goals and how we deal with it within this liberty. I want to read His Majesty's speech to the Naval Academy about goal setting, and we're going to use this as the focal point of this episode. So, His Majesty says, this is commissioning naval officers, but the attainment of any one goal is never more than a temporary achievement. A mountaintop reach, beyond, on the far slope, there are new lands to explore and new peaks to scale. As each goal along life's path is reached, new vistas open before us, and new challenges are made. It is indeed an immutable law of life that man's striving can never end. That to pause on life's struggle is to slip back along the road to progress. Man is born in sorrow, and of the sweat of his brow must he earn his bread. So, I'm a Gideon. So for the brethren, again bringing it forward to the Rastafari man standard, we don't have no luxury. You reach a goal, me reach monetization, which was a goal, and me sit down and fold up my hand them. No. This is extremely important even for I right now, because as many of you know, who follow the community posts, who have been tuning in on the other parts of the ecosystem, we have achieved a major goal on the Lion Voice Network platform. What am I talking about? We have monetized the YouTube channel. So you heard, if you go forward in the episodes, I keep talking about we're working toward monetization. For YouTube, the standard for monetization is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. The 1,000 subscribers is a lot easier to get than the 4,000 watch hours. That means people have to sit down and watch your content 4,000 hours. That's not no small amount of hours, brethren and sisters. So we give thanks. We have achieved both of these milestones, and so the channel is monetized. What does that mean? It means that you'll start seeing ads with some of the content. So, just be patient, give thanks. We are participating in the Google AdSense program. So there is going to be some inconvenience. So I just want to tell the Lion Pride on Patreon, just be patient with I and I. You watch, this happens across YouTube, but it's a good thing in the context of the channel, because it means that we're able to monetize, we're able to grow the platform to hopefully where it will be able to invest. And again, our goal is to create a production studio in Ghana, West Africa. So this is just the beginning, and we're taking you along on that journey. For those who are curious, so far we've generated $1.17 in revenue. So anybody want a sweetie? Me can look and big up my chest and say, hey, you want a sweetie? But me can't give it to you yet, because they don't disperse until you go over the threshold of $100. But I want to share, because I think a lot of I should be establishing YouTube platforms or other platforms, again, because the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. And that doesn't mean just the Lion Voice Network. That's why we started Lion Talk and Lion Talk Live, because we want to hear from other lions as well. So I'm encouraging brethren, particularly brethren over 40, who have a lot to share. We need this wellspring of knowledge for the youths. And I want to big up Sian, my latest patron from the Lion Pride on Patreon. He came to a association, a Rastafari creatives meeting, find out that the brethren is only 19 years old. So he's a young brethren seeking the knowledge and very active within the Patreon. So I want to salute my brother, for supporting the platform. And you know, the brethren is getting value, and we don't have a Jegna system. And for those who don't know, we don't say mentor because of the Greek connotation. You know, in the Greek system, the mentor used to sleep with the young boys and all of them things. So we dash with that. We look at Ethiopia and we look at what they call, and it, you know, it's a Jegna. So in terms of our tradition, we say Jegna. So the brethren, you know, is able to tap I brain about things that he's interested in, and I gladly can share. But what I'm saying is that we need this on a massive scale. Our elders, a lot of them are no longer with us, and those who are not the most accessible. They're not online, they're not you know, blocking word sound in a way where it's available globally for those who are seeking. So those of I who have been chatting, this is the time for us to establish these platforms. And I'm going to share the journey and how I build my creative ecosystem. I'm literally building it while we're flying. So as we're building the platform, we're actually documenting it. If you go to the website, you can download the creative ecosystem model, and even that model we're getting ready to update it, because when we did it, that was the beginning, and now we've added components as we're living it. We're tweaking it, we're seeing, we're going to have an entire toolkit available for those who want to map out their ecosystem, just to help you, prompt you to be able to really curate. And again, my passion is to see I as Rastafari brethren establish the economic base necessary for us to really rise our community to the next level of building the alternative to Babylon, the building of Zion. You can go to the repatriation playlist, and you will see the activities that I personally am engaged in Ghana with the Kwasi project and other initiatives, purchasing of my own land on the continent, and these kind of things. So we're not here just running our mouth, because we know mouth make for talk. Speaking of talk, we have exclusive on the next Lion Talk. We have artist Dwayne Stevenson, reggae artist. He was advertised before, never worked out through the technology. He was trying to join the stream. We were using StreamYard platform, it never worked. So we had to revert to Zoom for this Lion Talk. So it's not a Lion Talk Live, we pre-recorded it, so we'll put it on the Lion Talk side where we put our pre-recorded interviews. But anything I say on this platform, my family, I have to deliver. You know, so I'm not going to tell you something, I'm going to do something and I don't do it, or if I cannot do it, I'm going to come in front of the family and I'm going to let the item know. So the same reasoning we had with the legendary Carl Malcolm and our brethren Ras LIDJ in terms of reggae, Rastafari, the way forward, we had the same reasoning with Dwayne Stevenson, and the interviews I'm giving with our Rastafari artists in particular are different, because we're going to talk about the Emperor. Oh, you see the Emperor, you know, we go down into that part there. What speeches you love of the Emperor? You know, we have a Rastafari reason. You're not going to get that on a mainstream. And that's how we're going to distinguish this platform from all of the other platforms. Yes, you see, I interview my brethren, Mark Taylor. If you haven't seen that Lion Talk, interview my brethren, who's an actor, a veteran actor. We're going to have interviews with non-Rastafari people, just like you would on a Joe Rogan podcast or any of these other big podcasts where they bring guests. We're going to have all of that on Lion Talk and Lion Talk Live. but we're going to specialize in Rastafari, reasoning with Rastafari's children. And those are the videos I see really performing well on this channel. To that end, I'm just returning from the Organic Fest. Big up the Habesha family.
Habesha, helping Africa, by establishing schools at home and abroad. Habesha, helping Africa, by establishing schools at home and abroad. Habesha, helping Africa, by establishing schools at home and abroad. Habesha, helping Africa, by establishing schools at home and abroad. Without Mama Earth, how will we live? She feeds all living things, so thanks and praise we give. Though we dwell on this earth, our spirit is galactical. World food in this time is only practical. Not only that, it is the path to a life free of stress and strain and the hassles of bills and pills. They only kill, we strive to heal. It's time to heal till the total has been revealed. Why? Cause fruits are my sweets, edges are a treat, and the holy herbs strengthen my heartbeat.
Celebrating 21 years, 19 years of the Organic Fest. I performed at the Organic Fest. Nice vibration. Put it out, getting a good response. I'm going to put the little clip here so the item can see.
I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. I grew up in Toronto, Canada. And I live in Washington, D.C. This is where I'm from. I'm from a distant land in the distant sea. I'm from a land that got a tragic history. I'm from a land where the people live in misery. At the same time, we know the luxury. I'm from a land prophets wrote about in prophecy. I'm from a land where they profit from our poverty. I'm from a land full of rape and robbery. I'm from a land full of churches and sodomy. I'm from a land where the angels fall and bleach. Land where they glorify God's speech. Land full of mountains, rivers and beach. Where the bad man dance, sheep dance, Mark Street. Land where the jungle full of concrete. Where gunshot beat so mama can't sleep, yo. Land where the elders tell me don't weep. Cause the Lion of Judah just can't be defeated.
So you can see the vibration, the artist. When you unleash the artist, get ready because he's buckled up behind a desk doing all kind of other work. So when you put him on stage, even through the rust, you can see where the artist thing is going. That not gonna stop. And we're building this platform. So worst case scenario, the artist will feature on this platform, and this platform will be massive. I promise the item. If you stay with I, you will see the uprising. And you will see I was wearing the new Dejazmatch Kwasi Reading Ras t-shirt at the performance. So you can see the Reading Ras logo. You can get your t-shirt. Go to the website, get your t-shirt. Right now we're promoting the reading of physical books. We have the Reading Ras, and I tell my children all the time, Reading Ras are go bigger than Michael Jordan a jumping at the year, because books them now gonna wear, and more people read books than play basketball. Is that delusional? A delusional take? I would prefer to say aspirational, and time will tell whether we hit the mark, but we have to aim big, or what's the point? So the Reading Ras merch is available. Support the Reading Ras merch. Go online on the website. You'll see the link where you can buy the Reading Ras merchandise. I want to just take the time to big up our sponsors: CMOS, Life, Rejuvenation. Drink up your CMOS. You're strong, you're mighty. All of these minerals, many different flavors. Big up CMOS, the CMOS team, for bringing healthy nutrition to Pan-African family. We also want to big up Ramia King Designs. We got the tumblers. I tell you, you can put hot cold liquid in here, nice. I use mine. You can feel nice, and they have a lot of products. Send them an email, let them know you came from the Lion Voice. We have their email on the screen. Send them an email, let them know you came from the Lion Voice. Also remember, we do have signed copies of Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior King. We're coming into the month of July. We are in the month of July, the birth strong month, so we're going to be doing a whole series leading up to the birth of His Imperial Majesty, so stay tuned for that on the channel. We're going to go deep into the Ethiopian history again, so stay tuned for that. And this book is the epic story of the birth of His Majesty, so this is a must-have for all Pan-African, all Rastafari, all people of good will who love African history. This is a must-have in the collection. Leads you right up to the birth, and gives you all of the context of what was happening around Africa in the Caribbean, and puts it into one story, cohesive story. It's one of the things I'm most proud of right now in terms of goal setting and what I've been able to achieve. So support the book, Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, the Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and we're going to get started on volume 2 very shortly, through the powers of His Majesty. And also do remember that we're also offering consultations both on the creative side, so if you want to learn more about the ecosystem, you can book a consultation through the website, or you want a consultation with an entertainment attorney, just to give you a framework. Book a consultation again on the website. If you're in the DMV, Maryland area, you want an entertainment attorney on your team, reach out, let's work. We're ready to go, and we're not gonna stop. You're only gonna see things increase. So perfect love and strength. Let's get forward to the topic. So we give thanks, and again, all of these things that I'm sharing represent goals that were set and achieved. We set goals to do a logo for the Reading Ras. We set goals to put up the merch, and again, we're building out all of these different aspects of the ecosystem so that when we're in Africa, when we're in Ghana, we can be making money without having to actively be working, just by documenting and showing the journey. That now becomes an income stream, in addition to the practice of law, in addition to selling books. Haile Selassie's Ethiopia now available. This is another part of the ecosystem. So in addition to all of these things, we're building out these ways that we can earn, and this is one of the keys to repatriation, family. Before we go to Africa, or as we plan our return, the economics, I don't want us to gloss over that. There is coming a time where reparations will be given, and big up Bongo Wisely with the song reparations for resettlement. That time is coming. It's prophetic. It has to happen. It's been written. However, before that, we need to have soldiers going in and out. I've always said, along with my brethren Bingishan, we always say and joke from college days, we wanted to be on the welcoming committee. We don't want to come with the mass of people who are flooding into the continent and confusion. We want well set up and nice and comfortable. When the crowd come, we can help the one them to adjust. So that first wave, that tip of the spear, frontline soldiers, which there are a few out in creation, we have to be really concerned about, again, establishing the economic base. And I'm putting forward a creative ecosystem model that really can work for any product or service or whatever you're doing in terms of it, because even my law practice, all of it is going to benefit from the ecosystem that we're building. So again, you can go to the website, download it. We're getting ready to update it with some updated parts of it as we build it out. But the whole thing is just really based on Mother Nature. And we know that Mother Nature works on an ecosystem model. Outside, it's an ecosystem, and everything works in balance to keep the ecosystem healthy. And this should be the same way with your creative works or your economic works. I want to big up I Never Knew TV, Brother Linton, doing powerful work there on I Never Knew TV. He's dropping the clips, and we're getting a lot of positive feed forward, but in the comments there you see the little negativity. People are critique you, call you all kind of name and them kind of thing there. This is part of the tradition. This is part of the trad, and that's what we want to talk about today. Is again setting goals, but also vulnerability, the ability as a man to overcome that feeling of vulnerability, to put yourself out there for public scrutiny, because to lead means that you have to be willing to accept scrutiny. You have to be willing to be accountable. You have to be willing to be in the public sphere to lead. If you're going to be one side in a corner, that's a different lifestyle. But Rastafari, we don't have that option. Ras means head. So by definition, as head, and the one to be feared, the one to be respected, we are the ones that are the tip of the spear, almost akin to how the US would view the Marine Corps in terms of being the tip of the spear. They lead out before the army, everybody come in, the Marines go in there and deal with them, have to deal with. Spiritually, Rastafari, that is our role. We were telling people about repatriation to Africa when it was not popular. We see now the world is flooding into the continent. We see all kind of people. Every time I look on my feed, a different celebrity thought leader is in Ghana. You know, so, and Ghana is the gateway. It's gonna spread to the rest of West Africa. It's gonna spread to East Africa, South Africa. This great return cannot be stopped. And it's right now, it's a stream. You know, it started as a trickle. Now it's a stream. You know, the year of return really bust a seal. COVID slowed it down, but the stream is there. That stream is going to be a river. And that river is going to turn into a tide that cannot be stayed. So I want to talk about, again, all of this. And I also want to just give my, ask my audience for their forgiveness, because we did ease up this strong. We hit monetization, which was a major goal. We hit the 60,000 views total for the channel. So big up. Again, this is a stadium of people have seen this content. When you think about the numbers, I started the channel. Remember, I was saying if I get 100, 200 people to view a video, it's like being in a room with 100 people. It's worth the time and expenditure, because if I was speaking in a room of 100 or 200 people, I wouldn't deem it a waste of my efforts. So you can imagine now, for the life of the channel, we've hit 60,000 people viewed. We just hit a little while ago 9,000 in 28 days viewed the channel. So we're doing numbers, and it's humbling. Sometimes we're doing 700-800 watch hours in the timing. So it's very, very humbling. With that, one of the things that happened, I hit that goal, and theoretically it's like me just lose a little vibes, because you reach the goal, you realize how much you've been burning. Because I have to explain that I still work full time in the law. The videos and things have to be done. I have to make time, squeeze in a time here, up late nights doing the editing work, multitasking while I'm doing other things. So it's a lot. So a lot of time we burn the midnight oil. We up early because we still have to exercise, still have to keep the body in shape and all of these things. So it's a lot. So sometimes you reach a goal, and there's nothing wrong with that. I did take the strong off, so you would notice, those who are ardent Lion Pride will notice Lion Talk was supposed to come out Monday. Lion Law, our legal show where we talk about different entertainment law topics, was supposed to come out Wednesday. Them show, they never come out. Just returning from Atlanta, I had some other things to do. Also, I have some big announcements to drop on the people. Then we're getting ready. I've been working on something behind the scenes. We're under a non-disclosure agreement, so until the announcement time I cannot go public with it, but we're getting ready to announce something massive on this platform, so stay tuned for that. But that aside, working on that, working on some major things within the Rastafari community. We have a major announcement on that side as well, that's going to change the face of Rastafari forever. that we're working on. We have whole heap of works happening simultaneously, other works that we can't even speak about because they're not ready to talk about yet. So sometimes, you know, I have to take a pause from these things. I'm the type of person, because I have a queen who's very overstanding, I try to do everything. That's not always possible. But I had to take a break. But you hear what His Majesty said, man, striving can never end, and to pause, we can't pause. I reached monetization. What does that mean? I told you earlier, it's $1.17 I've generated so far since monetization for a strong. We have to press gas. The next goal that we have set for the channel now is 10,000 subscribers and over 10,000 watch hours that we want to achieve. So we are really looking to press gas. So you're gonna see we ramp up the content again. We have artist Dwayne Stevenson, who's the first known artist that we have on the Lion Talk platform. There'll be a lot more of that coming. There'll be a lot more names. There'll be different things that are appearing on the platform. And remember, I superpower is the network. I know a lot of people, but I've intentionally just paused in terms of getting them on the platform because we want to set the table. And as brethren, this is a principle when you're networking, when you're harnessing the network, try to bring value. So at least I come with some audience. So I'm not asking them to come build me audience for me. At least I can say we reached the basic minimum threshold, 1,000 plus. You know, we can show you, say, yeah, we have this audience and we're doing these numbers. So we're still a baby in terms of platform, but I'm not coming with me too long on them and an idea and I try implement based on your hard work where you do and your audience where you build. You understand? So now we can leverage, because I have a lot of industry people in here. We have a lot of Rastafari soldiers in here, so I can bring value to anyone who appears on the platform in some kind of way. And we've had people appear on the platform and get book sales, get different things. So we know that the principle works, even though it's a small scale currently. But this is what we have to do in order to rise the Rastafari man. We have to not be afraid of setting goals and achieving those goals. Now, in the setting of the goals, I'm telling every brethren, make sure you have a to-do list. You know, whether that be a daily to-do list, a strongly to-do list. And what I do, and the benefit that I have as a married man, I send my to-do list to my wife, because I know once me press send, you know, problems, because she's gonna make sure and be my accountability partner. Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that? You may not have that as a single brethren. You have to be your own accountability person. However, it's good because so many things bombarding. If you don't write them down, it helps you to level set, helps you to reset. Set these daily goals, but within these daily goals, they're usually leading up to a larger goal, which is leading to a larger goal, which is leading to a larger goal. So we have the macro long-term goal. For I, that would be the building of Zion, the building of the alternative of Babylon, so that when Babylon fall, we have something magnificent for our youth them to inherit. That is fantastical. If I just spend time on that, I would be a dreamer. To get there, there are so many smaller steps that we have to achieve. One of them is building our own platforms that are owned and operated by Rastafari, which we're doing here now, controlling the narrative, telling our own story, rising the troops them. You know, Chronic said he's recruiting soldiers for Selassie army. I'm doing the same thing. You know, Kabaka Pyramid same calling. I'm doing the same thing, everybody in their own way. And we have places we can plug in people. So all of the warrior them, soldier them, tap in with I. Make we do some work, you know. Because there's a lot of work to be done. Harvest is ripe. The workers are few. So by doing this, we're doing our work. But also by doing this, I want to talk about the vulnerability piece. we have to have a certain degree of vulnerability, meaning we have to expose ourselves to criticism. I get criticism all the time. What I do, you look into it, see how you can use it. Iron sharpen iron. I came up in the firehouse, Nyabingi, which is helpful. So we don't take nothing personal. Fire purified. As long as you don't cleave to what's wrong, you can't get burned. You let that burn off whatever, and you stand up strong within the Gideon. So I love to get even in the comments, Lion Pride, people might say, listen, you need to do XYZ, brethren say, put the episode thing them in the caption. We are try follow along with your thing, and your thing confuse we. What do? We put the captions in the title so that the people them can see episode, which one, and all of these things. So it's constant refining. His Majesty said what? That a man can never stop along the path to progress, and to pause is to go backward. And also remember when me tell the brethren them that achievement is an aphrodisiac for the princesses, the queens. Your queen, when she sees you achieving, these are the things that allow the River Nile to continue to bring its bounty to the surrounding plains, and build civilization mighty along the banks of the Nile River. So you can understand the language. So there's so much that we have to do as brethren, but one of the things we have to do is goals. Don't get complacent. Don't find yourself that you're going to work, you're coming home, you're burn a spliff, you're listening to some music, you go work, you come home, you're burn a spliff, you're listen. What are your goals, brethren? What do you want to achieve? How can you use your divine gift? Because every brethren, and this is not just for Rastafari brethren and sisters, this is for black man, this is for all races. But I have to talk to Rastafari brethren, Rastafari man standard. I have to talk to Panafrican brethren, which I'm a Pan-African. I have to talk to humanity, but I start at home first. So make sure you don't find yourself fall into that pattern, because this is where we find a lot of the disrespect coming in with the queen, and sometimes they can't even express why them feel a certain way. But as the brethren, we have to set the pace. We have to show. And I had a beautiful conversation with Rasses Jazanai Kush out of South Florida, the Blue Fire Energy, about man, female, who's the lead. It's gonna be one of those episodes I know going to go around the Rastafari family. And I give thanks, because these are the conversations that we need right now. Because it's go time, it's repatriation time. This thing is happening. Babylon is falling, we see it. Africa is rising, we see it. It's not something we may have to sing about and you have to go burn a chalice load to visualize. Turn on YouTube, turn on the TV, search and find. Those who seek will see. Everything is so clear right now, brethren and sisters. So I'm really telling our brethren, you have to set goals and don't worry about the critics. They're gonna be there. His Majesty face them, so who are we? We're not gonna face them. Don't worry about the critics, brethren. Don't worry about the murmurers and the detractors and the whisperers. Take the good, refine, improve, move. We have to do it for the sake of our youth them. We have to build Zion. The workers are few and the work is plenty. So we need our brethren to really step up in this time. Again, set their ecosystem, set your economic ecosystem. That's the priority right now, brethren and sisters. Set your economic ecosystem, then connect with other brethren and see how we can come together to rise the nation to where it's going to be. And remember, Haile Selassie is I shield and I buckler. This is why I can be vulnerable, because at the end of the day, it's only His Majesty I have to account to. You understand? And I see what His Majesty go through. And in accounting to His Majesty, that don't mean that we're cavalier to our brethren and our sisters. No, it just means that when we try to hit that standard so high, naturally you're going to be able to show a good accounting of yourself in the midst of your brethren and sistren, because we see His Majesty did the same. So this is the liberty, this is the tradition of which we seek. The time is now, and I say, if not I and I, then who? If not now, then when? Brethren and sistren, the time has come for the lions to tell our own story, and this is the Lion's Voice.
Well, millions of Africans were stolen and taken in bondage and suffered terrible acts of terrorism. Well, millions of Africans were stolen and taken in bondage and suffered terrible acts of terrorism. Well, it's best that we live out best, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. So it's best that we live out the best, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. See them slave for paychecks. Work every day, grow old from the stress that pays. They're getting cold in the west. Remember we were bought and sold for gold out in the west. I check in my history and I see the sweat from our back to them country. Black people hungry still for the money. Them a robber, them a steal. Funny cause the slave got to face $100 bill for real. Y'all can act like it ain't a big deal, but I got to stand for the black. Color of my skin could have never changed that. No, the slave master thought y'all never talk back, but I must be back. And I see them on the war with Iraq, and my people them dying from the ears and crack. They lack basic things that they need, so they chase the Benjamins, living life second class citizens. Time to look within. Time for Haile, Selassie, King of Kings, and Ethiopia there from the beginning. Well, here change memories as it was, miss the soul of the people. So it's best that we live out the west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. So it's best that we live out the west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, they still come to arrest.
The shores, beautiful faces, take me to the Niger to behold creation. Look at the lions and tigers. Mother Africa, so majestically attired. Crown from her head to her toe with gold and sapphire, platinum, copper, rubber, and manganese. Try to anciently along the ancient seas. Under the blue now, for I'm sipping my ancient trees. Bathing in the hot springs, putting the structure of ease. Life is hell in the west, it's full time we all leave. $10 for a spliff, what's this? I'll be up in the garden cultivating my own dish. It's gonna be a beautiful thing to witness. 50 acres, growing up in East District. Yo,
You going to Africa?
shouldn't even be asking me, cause I'm fed up of these colonizers taxing me. I see visions of Africa coming back to me, so it's time to move forward. Free the captives with these verses and chorus. Burn politicians, cause not one of them is for us. And yo, it's time for us to yell up to Mount Zion, the door is open before us.
So it's best that we live out the west.